All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are talking about what is easily the biggest AI news of the year, the official reveal of GPT-5. OpenAI just dropped a bombshell at their latest conference, and what they showed off is, well, it's probably the most powerful AI model anyone has ever seen. And it all boils down to one really powerful idea. This is the line that OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, used. And honestly, it says everything. This perfectly captures just how big of a leap we're talking about. He's making it super clear this isn't just another small upgrade. It's a completely new class of intelligence. So, what does that PhD analogy really mean for us? It means we're moving past the idea of an AI that's just a knowledgeable student who's good at looking things up. We are now talking about having an on-demand expert in pretty much any field you can imagine, ready to help you with really complex problems instantly. This timeline really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, we went from GPT-3, which was like a pretty capable high schooler, to GPT-4, which felt like a smart college student, and now with GPT-5, we've jumped all the way to a full-on PhD expert. That growth isn't just step by step, it's completely exponential. You know, one of the most fascinating new things about GPT-5 is its behavior. It actually takes a moment to think before it gives you an answer. That tiny pause, it allows the AI to come up with responses that are way more accurate, much more creative, and just deeper than anything we've seen before. And this right here, this simple table, fixes a huge frustration we've all had. With the older AI models, you always had to make a choice, right? Did you want a super fast answer or did you want a high quality one? You could never really have both. Well, GPT-5 seems to have ended that trade-off. You get speed and quality together, no more compromising. Okay, this might be the biggest philosophical shift of all. GPT-5 isn't just a chatbot anymore. OpenAI is calling it a doer. And that means it's designed not just to answer your questions, but to actually take on complex, multi-step projects and get them done from beginning to end. And that leads to this wild new idea they introduced called software on demand. We're not talking about just spitting out a few lines of code here. We're talking about describing an entire application in plain English and having GPT-5 build the whole thing for you. In one of the demos, for example, they just described a French language tutoring app, and GPT-5 didn't just give them some code snippets. It built the entire, fully working application right there. This could completely change how we think about creating software. It's a massive deal. So, on top of being a doer, the next big evolution is all about connection. The whole goal seems to be making GPT-5 feel less like a cold, sterile tool and more like a personalized partner, something that actually fits into your daily life. And the personalization here gets surprisingly deep. You can literally define its personality. You can tell it to be a supportive friend or a tough love coach just by asking. But you can also customize the look and feel, control how fast or slow it speaks, and even train it to understand your own accent better. It's all about making voice chats feel way more natural and, well, yours. To show off its new creative and emotional chops, they asked GPT-5 to write a eulogy for older AI models. And the result was just shockingly human. It wasn't that robotic, kind of dry text we're all used to. It was this beautifully written, emotional piece that makes today's AI look stiff as a board. All this new intelligence also connects directly to your real life. You can now link GPT-5 up with things like your Google Calendar and Gmail. So instead of that whole annoying process of opening your calendar, creating an event, typing everything in, you can just say, hey, book a cinema trip with Sepierre for tomorrow at 5 p.m. and poof, it's done. Now, of course, all this power isn't just for our personal use. OpenAI also rolled out a huge new set of tools for the developers and businesses who rely on its API. They're getting a ton more control over performance and, importantly, cost. So they've basically introduced 3 new tiers. You've got the main GPT-5 model, which is just max power for the most complex stuff. Then there's GPT-5 Mini, which is a great balance between intelligence and speed, and it costs less. And finally, there's GPT-5 Nano, super fast, super cheap, and perfect for quick and simple tasks. Okay, so let's talk about some of the really important stuff. Safety, reliability.
And just who gets to use this? How is OpenAI actually tackling some of the biggest problems with AI today?
One of the biggest improvements they're claiming is a huge reduction in what are called AI hallucinations. That's when an AI just confidently makes stuff up. For anything important, that's a really dangerous flaw. And they've apparently engineered GPT-5 to be far, far more reliable. I mean, to give you a funny example of a past hallucination, an older AI once claimed that King Reza Sads was a Persian king who attacked Thailand and allied with Emperor Jumong. It's complete gibberish, but it says it with such confidence. Getting rid of that kind of error is a massive step forward if we're ever going to trust AI with important info. So, after hearing about all of this PhD expert in your pocket, this doer, this thing that can build apps from scratch, the million-dollar question is obvious, right? What is access to the world's most powerful AI actually going to cost? And the answer is zero. In a huge change of strategy, OpenAI is making the main GPT-5 model available to every single person for free. The most powerful AI in the world is no longer behind a paywall. That's a big deal.
Now, of course, there's a catch. There will be a daily usage limit on the main GPT-5 model. Once you hit that cap, you'll be switched over to the GPT-5 Mini. But, and this is the crucial part, you're not getting downgraded to an old model like GPT-4. You're still using the latest tech, just a more lightweight version of it.
So there you have it. That's the whirlwind tour of GPT-5. The main thing to take away is this: a genuine expert is now at your command for free. It thinks, it acts, it understands you. So the only real question left is, what are you going to ask it first?